Wizardry Renaissance.
Hello, this is Dr. J, back with some more Let's Play Wizardry Labyrinth of Lost Souls. Last episode, we were exploring Dungeon of Trials B6. Both just for the sake of exploring here, and to try to complete the Pori Pori Mushroom quest. It started out poorly. Ridge died in our very first engagement. But since then, things have gone better, and we've been able to handle the fights on this floor okay. This episode, we're going to try to finish exploring B6 and hopefully finish the Pori Pori quest and see what the next one is. That was a joke fight. What were you thinking, lone giant viper? Okay, this is a lot more threatening. I need you guys to kill those mages as fast as you can. One down. Ridge trying to clear out the front line. Another mage runs, another mage down. Okay. Alright. I think we're okay at this point. Kill the remaining mage. And we're good. Counter rate's a little high at the moment, isn't it? Okay, although the mages on this level are scary, when it's nothing but mages on the front row, we can take them out pretty quickly. And it's great when... Uh-oh, here comes the AoE. Okay, it didn't do that much damage. Have I translated that one? Masaka Kokomare Toa? Basically just means I can't believe I'm being pushed this far. Nobody got that hurt, but still, it might be worth topping us off. Just to be on the safe side. Good grief, encounter rate. Please calm down a little bit. The mages are so far back we can't get at them with most of our characters. That's actually quite a problem. Ugh. Not a whole lot to be done about that. Izumi's boomerang at least can reach that far. And of course Valrus's spells can. There's only 2 of them though, so it's not that scary, I guess. Okay, that wasn't that big a deal. So much for the Vorpal bunnies. And the Silence Field did nothing. Alright, that mage is definitely going down. In fact, you can trick attack the front line. Down he goes. And dead. Hey, strange. Could that be a reagent? Excellent. Okay, we need what, 3 more to complete that quest? It might actually be feasible that we complete it without having to farm for them all, or at least not much farming. Oh my gosh, encounter rate, why? You weren't this awful before. What is going on here? Mages are just coming out of the woodwork to be killed. Oh, by the way, I think there's a way to It was something I remembered. I think there's a way to remove the portraits while you're exploring, which both makes it feel more immersive and gives you peripheral vision, because you can see to your sides better. But I don't know what button it is. None of the buttons are doing it that I would think. So, I'm gonna have to look up how to do that. Oh, has my map worn off? I think it did. That is a problem easily addressed. Is that treasure more important than your life? Okay, this is... Despite the high random encounter rate... Oh, to those who seek a formidable enemy, are you strong enough to meet the challenge? Does that mean there's a tough enemy in this direction? But despite the high encounter rate, I think we're making good progress on exploring the rest of this floor. And the encounter rate seems to have chilled out. Oh, level 17 mage. That is definitely a high enough level to be a bit scary. Jeez, you missed. Come on. There we go, Rakia took care of it. Okay, we've got this now. Aren't spirits supposed to be light elemental? But I have a feeling darkness field is going to do nothing. Okay, never mind. It did okay. Alright, nice. Rocky gain a level. Gain 25 hit points. Pretty good. Decent hit point roll. Stun gas. I think that can TPK us. Confirm? No, it's Desperate Strike. Good, I'm less worried about that. A shield. Probably not exciting. A magic torch. Sure. Okay, buckler -1. Definitely not exciting. And the scroll's just a holy scroll. I thought Ridge had one. We'll stack them in his inventory. Oh, sure, Darkness Field these guys. Not bad. Stun gas, she thinks again. Uh-oh, they're agreed. Okay, this could be risky. Good. I just have a vague memory that I've gotten TPK'd by that in a past playthrough. Uh-oh! I didn't even see that. I stumbled right into it. Oh my gosh. Okay, well. I do wish that the fixed encounter icons, or whatever you want to call them, were a lot more obvious. They're so dark. They really blend in. It's easy to miss them until you're just right on them. That said, this doesn't look like it's actually that threatening, I don't think. So I think we'll be okay. Do an ice first. No, it turns out that was a really easy fight. So it doesn't matter that we stumbled right into it. Interesting. Oh, there are glowing magically created letters. Can't find the control switch? Why don't you look for others? Well, that's interesting. Oh, I meant to save after Rakia's level up, because it was a decent level. Didn't lose any stats, and 25 hit points is not bad. Okay, so there's the portcullis that it must be referring to with that control switch comment. A lone giant viper, just like its forebear before us. What is it thinking? Thanks, giant viper. Good fight. GG. Looks like we're going to finish exploring this floor with time to spare. Oh, well, about the control switch. Of course, that might not be the one. That sign seemed to be taunting us, suggesting that the control switch to open that portcullis would be hard to find or something. Ah, I missed a little alcove there. Alright, we get ambush. Nice. Mages won't even live to get a turn. Haha, no one lived to get a turn. Excellent. Oh geez, I stumbled right into it again. It happened so fast. I've just decided this is my fixed encounter theme. It takes unbelievably long amounts of gameplay to get a true boss battle theme in this game, so I figure using a special theme for fixed encounters is appropriate. Even if they're basically just encounters with normal enemies. Wow, that Cyclops took a beating. And the one downside of Radar's Mauler, he is kind of inaccurate with it. Easy victory. Shock tile? Shock tile. I'm starting to think we did already find all the relevant things of the Pori Pori Mushroom quest. We did find a sign that said Pori Pori and one that said Mushroom, so I don't know what else we'd be looking for, really. An iron chest. Let's give it a few tries to see if we can get bronze. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No, I'm at least gonna get iron. It's not difficult to get iron. There we go. That'll do. No trap. Okay, they're in agreement. Radar got shoes. Let me guess, just regular shoes. No, they're swift shoes. Okay. Mage, priest, thief, bishop, ninja. Already being worn by Izumi. Shoes +3 on both my mage and my bishop. They give Agi, dodge 2, defense 1. That's it. Versus defense 4, dodge 1. The extra point of agility would help them go faster, I think. Which, especially in Valrus's case, might be worth the loss of defense. It might be. He doesn't take physical attacks that often. Famous last words, but I'm gonna consider giving him this instead for that point of agility and go just that little bit faster. Alright, you want a piece of me? Bring it. You shall regret your foolish decision. I salute you for surviving 1 round of my attacks. Now you die. Okay, well let's backtrack and see if the portcullis is open. If it's not, then I'm going to be pretty baffled. But I'm pretty sure it will be. Oh wow, 8 free warps available. Sure enough. Alright. There's our elevator. And we have 1 more tile to get. And that should be 100%, and it is. Nice. Well done to us. Just a moment. Ugh, gonna move my coaster over here. There. Okay, we're done. And we have probably finished the Pori Pori Mushroom quest, so back to town. And let's get our town music going. Alright. Well, I guess we get to spend a little bit of time in town, do a little bit of logistics on screen. How do I turn in the Pori Pori Mushroom quest? Ah, I think it's this one. What? Maybe it wasn't that one? Maybe the quest is bugged and not completable. I don't know. Maybe there's actually more to the quest after all. Okay. I'm gonna be sad if the quest bugged out on me, because I think there's a whole chain here. But it never did appear in this quest list here, so... I don't know. Shrug. That's all I can do. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to say to me, Iron Hand? Nope, nothing. Alright, fine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to think it bugged out. Oh, We have no use for a longsword. I'll just sell the scrolls. And the shield. The other longsword. We don't need these shoes +3. Hang on to the reagents. I think I can just sell the mage's book. You need what? Int 12? Oops, status is what I wanted. Not that I'd be likely to even want to turn one of my characters into a mage, but even if I did, everyone meets the prerequisites anyway. So, goodbye, Mage's Book. Thank you for the G. Probably no reason to hang on to the Ice Wand. Especially because Valrus already has one, and it doesn't do that much for us anyway. Worthless Staff, Worthless Buckler. That stuff I'm hanging on to. Should I just sell the shoes? I mean, it's not that big a defense difference. Maybe I'll just put them in storage instead, though. Okay. We have sold everything we want to, and again, I don't think he ever updates his inventory in the entire game, except for the things you sell to him. Indeed. So yeah, like I said, I don't think we're ever going to spend money on anything except tithing. 228,000 G. Okay. Let's just check in with people real quick. Anything to say, Samantha? No, nothing. Nothing new anyway. How about you, Klaus? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Yep. Floor 4. Alright, I guess we just go to the inn then. Rest up real quick. Ridge is pretty close to a level. Rock is not, because she gained one fairly recently. Valrus is somewhat close-ish. Okay. Anything to say, Maria? No. You know what? While we're here, let's look through a little bit more of the bestiary. Have we already... Yeah, we already saw what it had to say about him. I don't think any of these are new. Is this new? Shade. The astrally projected bodies of creatures sealed within the prison of the Old Ones. These shades are only partially corporeal, but feed on the living flesh and souls of creatures within the labyrinth, which it is assumed sustains their bodies locked away in the other plane. Interesting. Giant zombie. I think we already saw that one. Dragon zombie should be new. A result of dark and forbidden magics employed by the dragon-worshipping cults that live deep within the labyrinth, this creature is the reanimated corpse of a long-slain dragon. It should be approached with extreme caution, as in on death, the dragon is no longer limited by the constraints of its body. It possesses the ability to breathe a poisonous gas that causes necrosis on any living flesh, and uses the decaying body of its prey to patch its own wounds. How gruesome. Oh, is the web spinner new? Although it bears a resemblance to a large spider, the outer body of this creature is actually a corpse. It has an unusual symbiotic relationship with the colonies of small thumb-sized infant spiders that gestate in its stomach and feed on the blood and flesh of creatures that the large body they inhabit kills and eats. That is disgusting. Those are not new. Are any of these new? Crushing anything they manage to get a hold of. They have amazing vitality and can even survive with severed limbs. Giant Viper. With a huge frame several times larger than that of a human, they have fearsome strength capable of constricting and crushing even a man in full plate armor. Even if its prey is able to survive the crushing force, it also possesses a potent poison that can end the life of even a seasoned adventurer. But as a reptile, it's weak to the cold. Okay. Oops. But it has no element. How interesting. And yet you say it's vulnerable to cold. Well, I'm not sure that we ever read the lycanthropes. More rats, the weakest of lycanthropes. Persistent nature. That thing about beware of infection if bitten or scratched is nonsense. Lycanthropy is not a thing in this game. Although I don't know if they inflict some other status effect. This creature is still affected by the phases of the moon. Brutally wounding the inexperienced. I don't know. They say it's a significant challenge, but I haven't struggled particularly against war tigers. I don't place a lot of stock in what the flavor text says about the challenge of the different monsters. Often kept as pets of the vampires. Gas Dragon, I think, is new. The huge bloated body of this creature at first glance appears to be due to grotesque obesity. More than half the creature's huge form is churning gases, which it vomits relentlessly upon its prey. Fast-acting poison gas has a low lethality rate, but significantly weakens those who breathe it in, leaving adventurers helpless to defend against its teeth and claws. Ogre, a well-documented male sub-demon. Well, why is it not in the demon category? They have a nasty disposition and a fondness for a tasty human flesh. Fortunately, this is offset by an inferior mind, which makes them much less of a threat than many other labyrinth denizens. Does not possess the regenerative ability of many of the other giant kin, but they hit extremely hard, so do not take them lightly. Is Earth Giant new? Draws all its power from the Earth itself, and the wilds are considered relatively docile, tend to avoid contact with other intelligent races, but the dark energies of the labyrinth have perverted their calm disposition. They have skin infused with stone, making them extremely difficult to damage for the average adventurer. Cyclops. I don't think we read this. Although one of the giant kin, the Cyclops is regarded by many as a type of demigod, and is even said to have divine lineage. It does not associate with a particular element like many of the giant kin. Cyclops is very powerful, but this has instilled a sense of hubris in them, which can be turned against them by the clever. Actually, I don't think we read any of these. Air Giant. Draws its strength from the winds. Unlike the spirits of the wind, it has a fully formed physical body, but still is able to harness the power of wind to cut and pierce, form a strong barrier of high-pressure air in front of themselves in combat, making them difficult to damage directly, largely considered the most challenging giant kin. Power of Fire. Love combat. Recommended to carry enchanted items. Freezing Breath, eh? Also, this thing about, even if you're victorious, you can die after the fact from complications due to exposure. Just flavor text, not a thing. Not a game mechanics thing. Poisoned by the dark energies of the labyrinth, perverting its ability to draw power not from stone, but sweat, blood, and flesh. More agile than many of its brethren, but most fearsome is its foul, poisonous breath, which can kill an unsuspecting adventurer in a single hit. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I don't want to spend too long in any given video looking through that. You know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm actually going to return to title, because it seems like I have to go there to access the full settings, which seems silly to me, but that appears to be the case. Because I want to go to keyboard layout. Customize keyboard. I tried all these buttons. Oh, turbo is F. Okay, that's new. Maybe that's how I make the battles go faster, because I tried holding down the confirm button and that didn't do anything. But I tried all of these to get rid of the portraits to go into immersive mode, and none of them worked. That's odd. Huh. I don't know then. I thought maybe I could figure out how to do it from that menu, because I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Well, if we can't turn in the Pori Pori Mushroom quest, and I'm now worried that it is bugged and we're never going to be able to turn it in and start that whole chain of quests. Again, it never even appeared in the quest list, which... yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll be able to complete it later for some reason. But for now, it's not looking promising. That's a bummer. But we press on. But if we can't complete that, let's just go back into Sheen's dungeon, level 4, and progress the plot, I suppose. This is a little lazy. It's not like it's that hard to get to the 4th floor, but small room. There's a number of rooms it could be. Any of these empty 3x3 rooms. Like this one, or this one. We'll start with this one. Oh, and let's get some dungeon music going. Which means let's turn... That happens to me every time. Because I think that it's gonna select sound balance as a selectable thing, and it never does. Okay, let's get our buffs on. Even if we're just gonna do this and leave immediately, which we might. If we're gonna get into a fight, at the least we want strong battle aura and advanced reflex. Looks like that was not the correct room. Level 9 Cyclops, not particularly scary, I don't think. Not much for a demigod, huh? Received plate. Nothing exciting. Alright, well if it wasn't this dead-end 3x3 room, let's try this one. Maybe I should turn on the lights so we can see better. It's hard enough to see the little icons as it is. There, that's a little better. Just a couple bishops. They could drop a bishop book. That could actually be a useful thing. They sure die quick enough. Not seeing anything here either. Could be in there then, perhaps. Okay. Shouldn't be in the middle of a corridor. I seem to recall that you generally find quests in relatively intuitive locations. Empty 3x3 rooms are often a good candidate. Did I already check this one? I might have. Oops. Oh, that's a one-way door. That's why I got confused. I already checked here. Pretty sure. Well, it's not the very first one I checked, but what I'm gonna do is warp back into here and check the surrounding area. Speaking of those air giants, yeah, I remember now. There's a lot of giants on level 4 of Sheen. Decent experience, considering it's a pretty non-threatening fight. Okay. Could be here. Could be in any of these three. Let's try them next. We don't even need to warp, it's real close. Encounter rate, please. I'm just trying to find... Oh, it's these guys. Bye. This seems like if you really wanted to do alignment changes, this is a good level for it. Because it seems like you run into friendly creatures quite frequently. So you can either just leave to tilt your alignments toward good, or attack them to tilt them toward evil. Oh, here we go again. Bye. Not here either, huh? A little surprised. Huh. We've tried a lot of the places I would guess at this point. I guess there's a couple little 4x4 rooms we haven't tried, like this one and this one. It feels less intuitive than a 3x3, but could be. Aha! A skull. Excellent. I think we found it. In the darkness, countless black shadows writhe about and appear to be gathering around the corpses. Okay. Corpses of the nobles we're looking for, I imagine. Expensive jewelry is scattered by the bodies. These cadavers appear to be the lost nobles. Okay, as expected. The shades flock into the bodies, suddenly notice you and turn to attack. Bring it! Okay. Bats and soul eaters doesn't seem that intimidating. But we'll let them have it, with everything we've got. They did manage to break through the magic barrier. They didn't do a lot of damage, but... The Soul Eaters are in the back. I could have told that just by reading at the top, but I was kind of more looking at the the sprites. Oh, he's standing up to a bit of punishment. Wow, look at him go. He survived. Credit to you, Soul Eater. And down he goes. A level for Ridge. Got Int, Vite, 12 hit points is not amazing. You defeated the creatures surrounding the corpses. Carefully recover the remains of the dead nobles. You should report back to the palace. That's that, I guess. We teleport back then. Still a little bummed that I don't know why the Pori Pori Mushroom quest didn't complete, and I am worried it's bugged out, but we'll see. Maybe it's not. Maybe I just actually haven't done what's needed to finish it, but it seemed like it. We found that thing that said Pori Pori and the others that said Mushroom, so... Oh well. We turn in this quest then. Subarashi, which just means like excellent, marvelous, wonderful, that kind of thing. We're able to recover the bodies? Sure did. Naturally, I'm not going to pay for the resurrection. Bunch of dumb, drunken nobles going in the labyrinth and getting themselves killed. 10,000 G, that's all we get for rescuing a duke and his entourage. Feels stingy. Cease any further investigation into these events. That almost makes it sound like a cover-up or something. Anything new to say, Klaus? Interesting. Oh, this is new. There's a sign freshly driven into the ground of the square, branded with the royal emblem. It reads, Adventurers wanted to rescue the lost king, abducted and taken into Sheen's dungeon. For more information, inquire at the guild. A crowd has gathered around the sign, gossiping. King Diamant V has been taken by a witch and is being held in that old dungeon, they say. His Majesty Diamant V has been missing for a long time. Now they know he's in Sheen's dungeon? You wonder how they found out. It says to ask for details at the guild. Alright, so we have kicked off what is essentially, I believe, the quest chain that will lead to the ending of the game eventually. If we just follow this quest chain, it's just going to complete the story. No, that said, obviously we have a bunch of side quests that we can do, and even if we complete the story, we can treat the rest of the stuff as post-game content. So we sort of have options for what to do from here. And in any case, there's no harm in us at least picking up the quest. It's not going to make us drop everything else if we just pick up this quest. But yeah, we're pretty much already at what is essentially the final story quest of the game. Got there kind of fast. That doesn't mean we're going to be able to complete it fast, though. Rescue King Diamant V. Attention all adventurers in the kingdom. We are organizing an investigation into the whereabouts of King Diamant V. Inquire at the palace audience chambers. Knowing you, you may even be able to find him. You know, I guess it's true, I didn't actually get a Pori Pori mushroom. All I actually did was find signs. So maybe the quest isn't bugged. Maybe I just haven't done what's necessary to complete it. That's entirely possible. It's just weird to me that it's not showing up as an actual quest, but now that I read that it actually requires a mushroom and not just finding signs that say weird things on them, I suddenly feel more hopeful that maybe I can still complete that. Let's go ahead and finish picking up the story quest first. Back to the palace we go. Oh, we're just forced to watch this cutscene. Klaus, we know each other. Come on, man. Why do so many people in this realm suffer from short-term memory disorder? You've been granted an audience. Make yourselves presentable. We're always presentable, especially Cecily. Cecily is very offended by this statement. Honestly, you know who else looks like she dresses really fancy is Izumi. She's got that fancy cravat and everything. A young steely-eyed nobleman. I mean, that's more royalty than nobility. They're not the same, but that's fine. Let us not nitpick. So you're Diamant the Sixth. You also look very fancy, as befits a prince, I suppose. Okay. Went to Sheen's residence. We saw his daughter, even though she was an exiled princess. Klaus is like, please get to the point, Your Majesty. Technically, if he's still the prince and not the king, it should be Your Highness. If you're the king or queen, it's Your Majesty. If you're a prince or princess, it's Your Highness. I know, that's also very nitpicky. But as a fantasy writer, I bone up on these things. And I think if you're like a duke, it's more like Your Grace is the proper form of address. Anyway, it was an old building, previously home to a house of traitorous nobles, and there was a labyrinth beneath it. People said Sheen created it. Maybe she created it using the Book of Dreams. Okay. Interesting stuff. And we don't get to talk directly to him again because we're just a bunch of scrubs, so we have to go through Klaus. Okay, and we're supposed to ask around town for more information. We can do that. Muted for a cough. Alright, yeah, let's, yeah, tell us more. As long as we're supposed to be gathering information. Deeply involved in research of powerful magics like the Book of Dreams that Alahawi told us about. Deeper in the dungeon, like the mid-levels. Thanks, Klaus. Oh, just for some more translation, Naruhodo just means I see, and Nandeshoka just means what is it? Nothing mind-blowing. Hundreds of years old. Ariemasen means like it can't be, or that's impossible. More paranoid nobility say Sheen summoned it in order to invade or curse the kingdom of Diamant, though that nonsense has been disproven. How was it disproven? You have scholars, Klaus? Interesting. Created in a previous area by a powerful mage. Pretty sure it's 10. Although that's how many it has in gameplay mechanics terms. Story-wise, who knows? It could be hundreds of levels deep. The gameplay and the story don't always have to align perfectly. Okay, and lastly, just chat with Klaus. Ah, we actually get new information. I'm glad I picked this. So why was she exiled? Nobody mentions why. That would be really useful to know. Like, if she was performing witchcraft or something, maybe there was a good reason she was exiled. Or maybe it was just because of a bunch of usurping nobles. It could be anything. So she got daughter zoned and sister zoned. Rikai dekimasen means cannot understand. Okay, interesting information. Oh, we suddenly get a new view of the town. That's pretty cool. Oh, you're a fancy and kinda suspicious-looking fellow, Gregor. You have joined the investigation. You're very suspicious-looking. You're like an evil vizier. And yeah, you're a minister of the royal court. You would do well to remember that. Okay. She carried a petty and childish grudge. She got daughter zoned. I mean, if she's a yandere, that, you know, I could see things progressing like this. Really interesting. I think that you're pretty suspicious here, Gregor. I don't necessarily take your word for it about any of this. Just return him or his amulet. Dewa Mata is just farewell, exactly as it says there in the text. Okay, bye, Gregor. I don't think I like you. Maybe that's me being biased, but I feel like your whole character design and art is designed to make me not like you. Alright, well, it said to gather rumors, so let's do that before we call it an episode. Yes, indeed. Special motive. Knew of some danger and took His Majesty down into the labyrinth to protect him. So, we have, I guess, two major theories we've heard so far. She took him into the labyrinth to seduce him and or steal his amulet. And she took him into the labyrinth to protect him. Okay, rumors at the inn is just a worthless option because she never even has any rumors to share. Do you know anything, Iron Hand? Gossip, I guess so. I guess that's... I prefer to call it information gathering. I mean, a lot of people have been telling us that. She became unstable and single-minded, so that's another vote for the yandere theory. Okay. Two votes in favor of that theory. How about Sister Samantha? Oh, another continent, not just another country, so she's from real far away. Okay, so was she exiled for practicing witchcraft? Homeland of Amazur. Okay. Well, that's quite interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've heard that from quite a few people. I don't know if you really need to be all this hush-hush about it. I think it's pretty well known. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. She's pretty attractive, but I guess we don't know much about her personality. It says it was out of respect for his late wife, so I guess I can understand that. Okay, as a witch, that confirmed. It was for witchcraft, apparently. Now, it still doesn't necessarily make her evil, because, you know, maybe it was actually good magic, and the people who exiled her were just making it out to be evil magic, and so on and so forth. But you can see where she would have a reputation if she was exiled for being a witch, and then disappeared with the king. Certainly, that doesn't look good. Okay, so that is going to do it for this episode. We, like I said, have basically launched the quest that kicks off a long series of events that'll eventually lead to the end game. So we could pursue that quest all the way to the ending, at least until we get deep enough in the dungeon that we get annihilated. But even if we do that with other quests still unfinished, we can still do those as post-game content. The game doesn't end when the main story ends. But we also have the option of trying to complete some of the other subquests first, and we may very well do that. I may take another shot at completing the Pori Pori Mushroom quest, to be honest, because now I'm starting to think it's not bugged, and we just didn't get everything we needed for it. In any case, that's going to do it for this one, and we'll continue with more questing and dungeon delving next time. I'll see you then.